Hello, everybody. Once again, welcome to My American Dream. It's been quite a bit since I've recorded and put anything up. I apologize for that. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to retool this channel to make it be what it really is, And we're going to talk about the American Dream. I have a lot of self-help videos in here. We're still going to keep them. We're going to archive them. They're going to stay where they are for the time being. But I'm going to retool this channel to what it was really meant to be, which is My American Dream. Not only my American dream, but everybody's American dream. What is that American dream? I'll share my life story with you and how I got here, and maybe through that, it can help you get ahead. Um, Believe it or not, a lot of people don't believe me. I wasn't born in this country. I'm an import, if you would. I was born in El Salvador. I moved here when I was almost 11. Parents divorced, that sort of thing happens. Moved with my mom with her family here to the U.S., to the San Francisco Bay Area, as a matter of fact. So from the age of 11 till the next 20 years, that's what I'll call home. And it was a very, very eye-opening experience. To give you a little bit of background, in El Salvador, we weren't obscenely wealthy, but we were well off. My grandpa had a farm, he had some cattle, and we had farm fresh stuff all the time. We had fresh meat, milk, cheese, eggs, all that good stuff. I rarely had anything out of a package. Never had fast food really, because the little town where I grew up in, fast food was whatever grandma made or what my mom would make. And there weren't even any restaurants really that I remember. So that gives you an idea. So coming from that, we moved here. My mother with me and two other sisters, so that's three children, and raised us by herself, not knowing the language, not knowing anything really. And so we can go from, being okay to what are we going to have for dinner. So that's where we get started on this, My American Dream. And I can remember back then, coming to the U.S. and having all this sense of awe and sense of opportunity, as a kid. That here we are in this great country, but even then, even though we lacked so many things, even though, my mom for the first little bit struggled to keep us clothed, fed, and with a roof over our heads, I didn't feel that way. You know, we didn't see it as a disadvantage. That was just life. We didn't know any better. It wasn't something that we saw it as a bad thing. And so that optimism kind of helped me keep going, because that's just life. So what? Some people have a car, some people don't. Some people have a nice house, some people have parents who could afford to take them out to dinner once a week. My mom wasn't able to do that, but that was okay. We never went hungry. We always had clothes on our backs, and we always had a roof over our head, which is what matters. That she was able to provide that for us, and I'm grateful for that, because how many other kids who have parents and still don't get that. So to me, that was a great blessing, great opportunity to have that taken care of for me. I had to learn English, believe it or not. And let me tell you, English is one of the most complicated languages. Just because, Spanish, the way you write it, you read it, you say it. English, you write it, you read it, you don't say it. And you have so many different words than most languages for same thing. Take the word lead or lead, you spell it the same, Lead, but excuse me, but yet that could mean I led a battalion of soldiers, or the lead in the pencil ran out, or they were led down the wrong path. So it has connotations and different time frames, and it's just craziness. Anyways, that's not my forte. So we'll move on. So that's what I came for here in the U.S. And I still remember, when we moved in with my grandparents and my aunt, who was only 3 years older than me, what this life really awaited. What were we going to do here? What are we going to have? And through the years, I've been lucky enough and blessed enough to have what I have now. Now, a lot of people would consider that great change and great opportunity, but to me, there can still be room for improvement. I was able to graduate from college, get a degree. I was able to, get married, have a wonderful wife, a couple of kids now. And we own our own home, and my wife's a stay-home mommy. That's what she wanted to be. I get to do what I love. It's a career. I'm in real estate, and life is good. Life is good. Coming from not having anything, not knowing what we're going to have to eat sometimes, to having a house, a nice car, an opportunity. That's awesome. So that's what my American dream is all about. You know, that you don't cap yourself, that you go beyond yourself to do those things, that you keep trying because in all honesty, didn't get any handouts. Didn't have a mom or a dad or a family member that plugged it in, or that had a job that they could just give me, or some other kids have. Who have an uncle who has a construction company and they go work there and they learn that trade, or that sort of thing. I never had any of that. My aunts and uncles were working stiffs. They had to work for a living just like my mom did. So they weren't in a position to even help us either. Everybody was at the same level. We're down here trying to move on up to the east side like the Jeffersons. Thankfully that happens. But I guess the number one thing that you have to remember out of all this is, don't look at the lack of opportunity as a disadvantage. Because a lot of people say, well, you get all these things because X, Y, Z. Like where I work, for example, there's a company that does loans. Sister company to where I work is real estate, and there's one guy who works a lot. His dad was in real estate and development and all that. He does loans, and he's fantastic. He does a lot of loans. I've worked with him. He does great. But a lot of people think that he's where he's at because of his father, not because the guy literally works his butt off. I mean, this guy's always hustling. He's always out there seeing how he can get a new customer, how he can help more people. What can he do? What can he change? And he's where he's at because of his own efforts. Yeah, his dad was a developer and he learned that part, but it doesn't pay the bills. His dad is not writing him a check. His dad is not saying, hey, come here and do this. No, this guy is building that on his own. Granted, he learned a little bit from his dad, but he's using that knowledge to further himself. Now, me, I've had to learn it all myself. I've had to teach it all to myself. I learn as I go. But that's okay. I might add a little extra time to the timeline, but the end result should be the same. As long as you're willing, you're able. And you'll get there. And that's what my American dream is all about. You achieving whatever you want, whatever goal it is. I read one time, or listened, I have an Audible account, listened a lot to it, to a talk by Earl Nightingale. And basically the gist of his thing was, what is success? What is success? He went into that and talked about it. And basically what success is the completion of a worthy goal. Whatever that is. You have your goals just like I have my goals. They might not be the same, but just because my wife wanted to be a stay-home mom and I wanted to work where I'm working, does that mean she's not successful? No. If anything, she's the successful one out of both of us. She's doing what she wanted to do. She's completed her goal. And that's what it is all about. That's what an American dream is. My dream is to achieve those goals. If I don't achieve them, it's because I don't want to. So that's what this channel is about, really, My dream. Not just mine, but yours. And maybe through my story, you can get inspiration or ideas on how to get ahead. Because it sucks, it's tough, and you know what? We're not ever gonna have an easy time of it. But that's beside the point. So thanks for joining me. We're gonna retool the channel to what it's supposed to be, and we're gonna keep going forward. Thanks so much. Take care. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Especially if you have a great story of your own, I'd love to share it with people too. So please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll stay in touch. Take care. Bye.